The Bulldogs. All right, I thought I'd just make a video talking about what's going on, what I'm struggling with right now, because maybe you guys can help me actually, but maybe it will just help also just talking about this and kind of what my plan is with this. So, I did this video a while ago where I was talking about not being okay and kind of going through some depression and I still, feel that to a degree. Obviously I've made some progress in some areas, but I am still really lacking the motivation that I once had. Even though now my hair looks like I look like the Bulldog Mindset that so well. But seriously, I think what I've really been struggling with, and I've been trying to figure out the cause of this and what the solution is, and it has helped making these daily videos, right? It is something though that I'm still struggling with, because part of the thing that helps me to be motivated to make the daily videos is that I'm making progress. I'm doing something, and as I'm progressing and working my way out of the situation, that I have things to share, right? And so when I sort of am in a down state where I'm feeling lazy and unmotivated, and I'm feeling like I'm not really getting stuff done and whatnot, then I don't really feel very inspired to make a video, and then I feel compelled to make a video, and so I'm making videos that really are not maybe that insightful, and they're just kind of videos that I'm making. But again, I'm committed to making the daily videos right now because I do believe that is an important thing, and I guess I'll just give you a couple updates on a few different things here, on where I'm going. But yeah. So the big thing here is that I'm extremely tired, and I'm thinking that this might be the cause of everything, right? That this might be the root cause. So I'll tell you kind of what it looks like, and maybe you've experienced this yourself, or maybe you've got some kind of ideas or solutions for this, but. I go to bed about 9:30. I'm probably asleep by 10 o'clock most nights, honestly. And then my alarm is set for 5:45 a.m. Now, I try to get up at 5:45 a.m. I started experimenting with getting up a little bit later, and maybe I should move it up to 6:45 a.m. But that's 7.5 hours of solid sleep. It should be plenty. I use my Garmin watch. I've got a Oura ring as well, and I track on the apps, and I can see, what my status is. And my sleep scores are usually in the high 80s or low 90s, right? So as far as, the sleep score and deep sleep, REM sleep, as far as both of these devices, which are working in different ways, because one's on my wrist and one is on the opposite hand finger, as far as that, I'm sleeping good and I'm not waking up too much. But I know that I am waking up several times in the night. All right. And it's not like I'm waking up for a long time and can't go back to sleep. It's just that I know that I'm waking up usually starting at, I don't know, I would say maybe 1:30 to 2 a.m. and then waking up from then on occasionally. And it's not a huge amount. It's not hard to fall back asleep. So that's just a hint, right? But when I do wake up in the morning, especially if I get up at 5:45 a.m., I'm just really, really tired, right? And normally, in the past, this is a normal thing, right? To wake up early, you're going to be tired. But normally in the past, I would force myself through it, and then I'd be fine. And then, I might get a little bit tired during the day. But I'm feeling just like super, super tired, to the point where I can almost not even function some days, right? Not every day, but a lot of days. And I'm really trying to figure out what this is. Now, I did this, because I know the very first thing that most people are going to say is sleep apnea. But I did this test. It was this thing where they sent me this device overnight. I forgot what the name of the company was. And, again, it's not a laboratory test, but all indications was that I didn't have sleep apnea. Now, I do know that if I lay on my back and I sleep on my back, that I will go and like I'll feel like I'll wake me up. It'll feel like I'm choking. And I'll wake up. So I'll sleep on my sides, right? And I don't seem to have that problem. But again, maybe it is. Maybe it is sleep apnea. Maybe that is the thing that I need to check out and investigate. But I'm going to kind of tackle this in a few different ways, right? So I have an idea also that, working out heavily when I'm running up trails and stuff, that requires more sleep, which might be the case, but it still doesn't explain the extreme amount of fatigue that I've been seeing lately, and has affected me motivation wise, to an extreme amount. So, and there is, some aspect of like, if you're motivated and you're doing stuff, then you feel more energized. But there's also this thing, right, that's going on. And so kind of my strategy of what I'm going to start trying to do is, one of the things that I thought about is just giving myself an extra hour of sleep. So instead of 5:45, going for 6:45, perhaps taking a nap in the middle of the afternoon, and that might help as well. But, unfortunately, I'm getting tired before the afternoon, so I don't know how much that will help unless it carries on for the next day. The other thing I was thinking about is that maybe I move my workouts to the morning like I used to. So as soon as I wake up in the morning, I go for my run or I go and lift, which could be helpful. I had done that a lot in the past, but I do feel like there was a period of time where I wasn't doing that, and I didn't suffer from these problems. And then I guess the final thing is to try and go in and get either a sleep apnea test, or just get a doctor to just give me a CPAP, and then let's see what the results are. Does this improve things? So I've tried all kinds of supplementation and things like that, and nothing else seems to work. But yeah, it is something that I'm starting to think might be at the core of the issues. The other kind of weird symptom that I have, again, I'm just kind of giving you guys this just because I could use some help here, honestly, if you guys can help me figure this out. But is that when I wake up with kind of a weird feeling in the morning. I'll feel like my skin is warm. I don't know if it's actually warm to the touch, but it feels warm to me. I'll feel like, even right now, I feel kind of this warm sense of it's almost like an irritatingly warm, almost like you could sweat, but I'm not sweating, right? So I don't know. It's very bizarre. It's very strange. I wish I could solve this problem, and I do think that I need to solve this problem, because I do think that without solving this problem, I'm going to keep on experiencing these issues. It could be that I just need a lot of hours of sleep, but it doesn't make much sense, because generally the way that things work, and there's some debate on this in terms of the science of it, but the older you get, the less sleep you should need, right? And some people say, well, that's just because older people, their pineal gland is more calcified, and that calcification of the pineal gland causes a malfunction in the release of melatonin. So you don't release as much melatonin. So older people actually do need sleep. They just can't sleep as much, or, because they're not getting as much melatonin. So that's a possible thing. I have also switched to non-fluoride toothpaste, and I have a fluoride filter that I'm going to be putting on my refrigerator to make sure that I'm getting the fluoride removed from the water. Just, it's also, in my research shows that that's really not a good thing anyway. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. And then I'm still trying to figure out some plan. I'm giving myself to the end of the year to figure out all the plan of everything. But what I do know is that I have been operating for the last 10 years in a mode of 70%. Well, let me back that up. Let me back up a little bit and say, you've probably heard me do videos where I talk about that there's this battle. There's this struggle between the artist and the entrepreneur, right? It's a battle that you fight. And, the entrepreneur, he just wants to make money. He's what Stephen Pressfield would call a hack, all right? His desire is just to make money, create the content that people want, whatever they're going to buy. What do you want? Tell me what you want, and I will create it and I will sell it to you, right? He's just trying to make money. The artist wants to create his art. He wants to create the things that he enjoys making, that he believes in. He doesn't really care about making the money. He just wants to create the thing, right? And for the last 10 years or so, I've pretty much operated where my distribution was about 70% entrepreneur and 30% artist. That's honestly where it's been. And so I've made this shift, and I don't remember if I've talked about this in a video already, but I've made the shift to 90% artist, 10% entrepreneur. Okay. And it's a hard shift to make, but it is one that I do feel is good for me. I feel a lot better in making the content. But like I said, even with that shift, it's not a perfect thing, right? I was just going through kind of my budgeting this week, or, just looking at things, and, and I'll give you kind of some idea of where I'm at. In fact, hey, why not? Why don't we just be completely transparent here, and I'll just show you this. Why not do that? Okay, let's see. It's a little bit rough, okay, but I was just kind of trying to get an idea of the budgeting. So hopefully you can see this here. I probably should zoom in a little bit. I guess I should do it like this so you can see me too. Hey, look at that. Since I got the haircut, I mean. So I think there's a way to just zoom on this. Okay. So this is kind of, we're getting real personal here, but hey, I think this is for those of you guys that are listening to this video for this, you deserve it. You deserve the real personal, but my mortgage payment on my house is about $7,300. I got property tax on that house. It's a nice house. It's in San Diego, right? HOA dues on the house, medical insurance, gas, electric, water, home insurance, solar panels, right? These are all kind of those kind of fixed expenses for a house this big, which is, what is that? That's like $10,375 a month just to have the house, right? Pest control, home security, I guess you can include that in. Maid service, that's fairly optional. Gym, 24-hour fitness. Child support, got to pay child support. That's one of the things about divorce. My daughter, I send her to a private school, orthodontics, miscellaneous stuff in like dance classes and stuff like that for her. And then Nicole, goes to ClassPass. That's her fitness thing. So this is kind of like the base expenses, really. There's some other stuff, perhaps, but these are kind of the major items. And then I figure, about $600 a month for groceries for the house, shopping, $500, whatever, eating out, let's say $1,000. Most of that ends up being business expense, but let's say that the personal part of that, when you account for taxes, is $1,000. That's Uber Eats and going out to restaurants and stuff like that. And then miscellaneous, that kind of covers whatever else is left. So if I add all this up, we're looking at, what is this? About $18,000. Right. So I said I roughly need about $20,000 a month, right, to survive, which seems like a pretty good, a lot, right? A lot of you guys are like, damn, that's a lot. But when I look at this, it's like there's not really a huge amount that is flexible to cut out here, right? I mean, these are kind of some broad categories here, but the base kind of stuff for just living in California in this house is pretty expensive. So this is pretty accurate, and there's not a lot that you could really cut out of here that would make much of a dent. Yeah, you could cut some small things out and say, oh, you don't need maid service, you can clean your own house, whatever. You could say, oh, you could save someone on groceries, you could save someone on eating out, but what are you going to shave off? A couple $1,000s perhaps, but so like I said, roughly $20K. All right. So that means that pre-tax money needs to be about $30K a month, right? Because I'm figuring 30% tax rate, right? Again, I'm pretty conservative with the numbers. So I need $30K a month that has to come in. So I've got, real estate income that comes in. That's about $7,500 a month. It's, sometimes $8,000, sometimes $9,000, because I'm splitting this with my ex-wife, right? Because all these properties are paid off, but I manage it. She gets half. I get half. Okay, so that's about my half. SaaS investment. I invested in this fund, put like $200 something thousand in there, and on average every month they give me a dividend check of about $2,000 to $3,000, but I'll be conservative and say $2,000. And then I kind of included this on my Simple Programmer business. I've got some book sales that roughly are about $2,500 a month. It's kind of like free income because they're just selling automatically on Amazon. I don't really have to do anything for that. That could go down over time, but it's been holding pretty steady for a long time. So I'll kind of put that in there. And then I've got YouTube, right? Which this is on the Bulldog Mindset channel like this. If I'm doing daily videos, I'm going to get roughly enough views that it'll be about $500 a month of income. And then I sell some books, Bulldog Mindset on Amazon already. That is about $200 a month. Okay. So my total of kind of like income that's coming in, that's just going to come in no matter what, is about $12,700, which is pretty good, right? I mean, if I didn't have this crazy big house payment, that would be pretty damn good. It's like, that's where it's kind of interesting because I talk about financial freedom, right? And yeah, I am financially free technically because $12,000 something a month, that's plenty in order to live, except that I have a very expensive house living in San Diego. So, and with the divorce and everything, there you go. So it is the situation I'm in. I have to live in San Diego because my daughter is here. My ex-wife is here. So at least until she grows up. Otherwise I would move somewhere else. And I kind of have to have a house that is big because I have to have an office. I've got a daughter, right? It's like, yeah, you could get a smaller house, but man, San Diego is the most expensive place to live right now. So even if you downsize, it's not going to be very much of a downsize, right? So let's go back to the screen here. So again, this is sort of just a ramble video, but if you're interested in me and stuff like that, this is one for you. If not, you've already clicked off. So basically, I've got this amount coming in automatically, and I need to make $17,300 a month in the business, essentially, to like extra money in order to, or profit, in order to really like float these numbers. Which again, this is not really putting away savings or anything. This is just kind of floating these numbers. So kind of my targets is roughly, and again, these targets are based off of this 10% entrepreneur, 90% artist, right? But this also does make it a little bit scary, right? To go down this road, right? If this needed part wasn't here and I was just living off of this in a normal situation where I didn't have to pay as much money to live in this house, then let's go 100% artist. Who cares, right? But in this case, there's some expenses here. So I'm figuring I can do about 10K a month of coaching. So that's how many coaching slots I'm opening up. I'll open up a few more. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, it's $1,500 a month. Okay, there's no commitment or a long-term contract on that, and so as you can figure, I need to have about, what is it? I said 1,500. Yeah, I need to have about 7 coaching clients a month, right? The goal is to not have more than 10, really, because I really don't want to manage more than 10. Again, artist, not entrepreneur. I don't care about making a whole bunch of money. That's not at this stage in my life. That's not what I'm about, right? Bulldog Mindset membership. It's roughly doing like 6-7K a month. At one point, it was doing $20,000 a month. If you want to join the membership, I am going to probably reboot that. That is what I'm thinking about for the future. I think that does make sense as sort of the main product for me to promote. And it's something that's easy to promote. I don't feel cheesy and salesy by promoting that because it's so valuable. There's so many videos in there right now that if you haven't joined, if you want to join, there'll be a link down below. But check it out. It's worth it for $39 a month right now. But I'm probably going to raise the price to $100 a month and sort of reboot this on the school platform if you're familiar with that, and start creating more videos and more content and getting more involvement in there. So that's kind of like the thing that I'm thinking of where I'm going to centralize all the information that I want to create besides these YouTube videos, right? Because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, right? And a lot of cool stuff I want to do with that membership. But you could check that out. Like I said, and then if you want to get in now, well, it's $39 a month. I would suggest doing that because, like I said, I'm probably going to raise it up to $100 a month. But really, I don't need to make a huge amount of money from this, right? At least at this point, right? And really what I'm doing with this too, just so you understand what's going on, is that I'm trying to make it so that the business supports the content instead of the content supporting the business. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is that I'm not making these videos right now to make money. Like that's not the ultimate goal. The point of making these videos is twofold. One, it's therapy for me. In the sense that I love talking about these things and sharing these things with you guys and just talking out loud about this stuff and publishing it out there. And then the second thing is that I want to help. I want to help men. I want to help men to become better, to be able to transform their lives, right? I'll have to do another video on this, but just as a quick side note, I was talking to Nikhil, Captain Sinbad, because he's here and we're doing some collab stuff, but he was asking me what is my gift? Like, what is the thing that I do? And, like that no one else does. Like, what's the unique thing that is John Sano's is Bulldog Mindset? And like, what is your coaching, essentially, right? And the answer to that, well, he said, I was kind of thinking about it a little bit, and I have an idea, but I didn't know how to put it in words. And he said, and he didn't watch my other video where I talked about this subject, but he said, I kind of see you as like a shaman. And I was like, wow, that's interesting, because that's exactly what I did a video talking about, was that I would have been a shaman. And that's true. And so when I dug into that, really the thing that I do is that I see deeply into people, and deeper than they see into themselves, and then I use that to help them transform themselves, right? That's really the unique gift that I have, is that I can see into someone, and I can see what is going on that they're not even aware of. All right, I have that kind of insight, and then I can help them to overcome those insecurities, overcome those problems, and transform their life from that, right? So that's something that is, I think, is uniquely a gift of mine, and and I love doing it, right? And that's the thing. I talked about this, I think, in some other videos about some coaching and helping people and having these conversations where other people, it would just drive them nuts. But I love doing it because I love dissecting things and figuring it out and helping guys. So that's why I really want to make these videos, is for those reasons. And that's why I really want to run the business, is because I want to make an impact of transforming people's lives and enjoying it, and having fun doing this, doing the thing that I love doing, while transforming people's lives and just exploring all these cool things. Like, this is a very interesting world that we live in, and human psychology is so interesting, and there's so much that is available to people that they don't even realize. So anyway, that's my side note there. But and then I've got my WELL program, which is my financial freedom program. Excuse me. And the target on that right now is to do 10K a month. Now, most of these things I'm exceeding, right? If you looked at my last income report, it was like, I think 50K or so. Like coaching might have been like 16K, and membership was maybe 7K, and WELL program was maybe like 30K or so. But remember, I'm cutting back a lot of the marketing. I'm cutting back almost all of the marketing. So that's why this does make me a little bit nervous, is because I kind of need to sustain this. And I need to have a plan to actually eventually grow this. Again, I don't want to get too caught up in it, because it's not about it's not the 70% entrepreneur anymore, but there is, the idea is like, can I be the artist and grow as the artist? Even if it's a slow growth, I just need to maintain where I'm at now, not go under with the business, and then eventually grow this thing up. And that gives me more resources to be able to reach more people, to create better content, to, just to kind of do the kind of projects that I want to bring in the life experience that will also help to be able to create content from that stuff. So that's where I'm at, honestly, right? And I know we're going all over the place here, but I just wanted you to see where I'm at. And so this is like 25K, which, again, I said I needed 17.3. So again, a little bit of a buffer in here with these targets. So it seems, pretty doable. I shouldn't be that nervous about it. Even if I went slightly negative every month, I've got some savings. I could hang for a while I'm figuring things out. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now with this whole thing. But the sleep thing is just, it's hindering me immensely, because I'm just tired. Like, I'll wake up and, I'll have my block of time that I'm supposed to be working, and I just will be dragging ass. Like, it's so hard for me to just, even right now, like I feel it. Like, I'm a little bit more energized because I'm making a video, but it is become quite a challenge for me. So I'm going to try some things to kind of turn this around, like I said, and I'm going to focus on these videos. And I do think that the algorithm has kind of screwed up on this channel. So, I've got some other projects in the works too, right? I'm starting a podcast with my wife, Nicole. We actually recorded 3 episodes. The fourth one we'll be recording this week. And then December 1st, we're actually going to release the first episode. It's called Better Than Perfect Podcast. And I'm probably going to start a channel here. Actually, what do you guys think? I'm going to do it anyway, but on the Letters to Lucilius on a Stoic channel, where I just go through the commentary, read the letter and out loud and sort of break it down for you guys. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm hopeful for the future. I feel like this direction is the right direction. I really admire people like Joe Rogan and Lex Friedman, right? Because they're just like exploring what's interesting to them and having conversation. And it's such a valuable thing to share that with other people, right? And that's kind of what I would really like to do, right? With my own sort of, not to copy them, but with my own take on it. And, it is freeing being able to create these videos. But I wish it was a little bit more freeing where I didn't even have to worry about the financial side of the business, to be honest with you. I've been focused so much on it. It's so weird too, because I teach people how to become financially free. And that's the other thing. If you want to get into the Well program and you want to get some help with that, join. We're doing some cool stuff there. I'm helping people to do that. Just message me. I only say message me on Instagram, by the way, is because I've got a sales team that I'm still hiring that and they're getting paid off of a commission, and I want them to get paid. I don't want them to to not get paid. So I want to make sure that it does go through them, goes through the proper channels, because they're good guys and they deserve that. And so, yeah, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.